Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I am the Backwoods Heathen and I'm here, basically I'm here to watch Tucker Carlson and Matt Gaetz discuss Matt Gaetz's sex allegations. Now I know this is old, but it was during that period when I was taking my time off trying to figure out all this stuff with the computer. So I kind of want to watch it and respond to it, so we're going to. How about that? Alright, here we go.
First thing, late this afternoon, the New York Times ran a story saying that Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is under federal investigation for playing some role in sex trafficking and potentially having a relationship with a 17-year-old girl. There are very few details in major news outlets tonight about this story. We have no background on it all and not even any very informed questions. Instead, we've invited Congressman...
Wait. Let me get this straight. You have no information on this case. You have no questions prepared. But somehow you have the guy at the center of all the controversy sitting right here waiting for you. Let's take a look at this dude too. I mean, look at that motherfucker. Tell me he does not look like a fucking skis bag. I mean, that dude, if anybody has date rape face, that dude right there has date rape face. He possesses the face of a date rapist. He's a motherfucker that I would be like, watch your drinks around that motherfucker. Let's watch this interview, shall we?
Congressman Gaetz on the show to respond to these stories and give us his view of them.
Oh, let's hear his view.
For coming on, appreciate it. So this is obviously a serious allegation. Tell us what the truth is from your perspective.
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie. The New York Times is running a story that I have traveled...
I'm sorry, but even when he said, it's a lie, like, just looking at his face when he said that, all that went through my mind was bullshit.
...with a 17-year-old woman, and it's verifiably false. People...
Let me correct you there, Mr. Gaetz. A 17-year-old isn't a woman, it's a girl. That's still a child by legal standards. I want to make sure you recognize that, okay? Alright, just want to make sure we get that.
People can look at my travel records and see that that is not the case. What is happening is an extortion of me and my family involving a former Department of Justice official. On March 16th, my father got a text message demanding a meeting wherein a person demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away. Our family was so troubled by that, we went to the local FBI.
I'm going to point something out here right now. Did anybody else notice the way he worded that? Let's go back here a second. I want you to pay real close attention to the way he words this, because I think it's kind of important.
Demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away.
You see how he just said there? He didn't say that they were going to make horrible, false sex ill allegations against him. They said they were going to make allegations that were already against him go away. So even if what they are saying right now is true, it really doesn't kind of add up that you weren't banging a 17-year-old there, buddy. I don't know. It seems like you're trying a lot of that wordplay there to try to... I don't know. Just seems kind of odd. I don't trust you. Like I said, you got that date rape face.
Our family was so troubled by that, we went to the local FBI. And the FBI and the Department of Justice were so concerned about this attempted extortion of a member of Congress that they asked my dad to wear a wire, which he did with the former Department of Justice.
Wait, what? Are you seriously on here on national TV talking about your father wearing a wire from the FBI? If this is true, you have got to be one of the dumbest fucking people I have ever fucking seen. My God. Yeah, my dad's wearing a wire, everybody. Fucking moron.
Official. Tonight I am demanding that the Department of Justice and the FBI release the audio recordings that were made under their supervision.
Why don't you release the messages that you said that you guys got? You know, the extortion messages. You guys said you got messages earlier in the video, in this video. Why don't you just release that? I don't know. Seems kind of fishy.
Supervision and at their direction, which will prove my innocence and that will show that these allegations aren't true. They're merely intended to try to bleed my...
Is it just me, or did it just literally sound like he said they are true? Let's hear that again.
Innocence, and that will show that these allegations aren't true. They're merely intended...
Alright, maybe he said aren't true, but it sounded like an awful lot to me like he said they are true.
Justice official tomorrow was supposed to be contacted by my father so that specific instructions could be given regarding the wiring of $4.5 million as a down payment on this bribe. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Is his family worth that much? Like, I'm not sure. If anybody watches this video and can add something to this, I'm not really sure. I haven't looked into that. But is his family really worth that much money? Possibly. I don't know. But I thought Republicans were against fucking, queer politicians making all their money in politics. But, whatever.
Coincidence that tonight, somehow, the New York Times is leaking this information, smearing me, and ruining the investigation that would likely result in one of the former colleagues of the current DOJ being brought to justice for trying to extort me and my family.
So a couple of obvious questions that come to mind, and again, just to restate, this just happened, don't have any other information beyond what we've already said and you have said.
Tucker, you never have any information. I mean, look at this face, look on your face right here. This is pure Tucker Carlson right here. The look of a moron. Trust fund, little baby, moron.
First of all, who is this Department of Justice former employee who's trying to extort the money from you, you said?
His name is David McGee. He was a top official in the leadership in the Northern District of Florida as a prosecutor. He currently works at the Beggs and Lane law firm. As a matter of fact, one of the recordings that was made at the FBI and Department of Justice request occurred at that law firm, and the money that was supposed to be paid today that would have shown even more evidence of David McGee's work in this extortion scheme, that was foiled by the New York Times story, and I believe that's why this horrible information and these terrible allegations have been used this evening.
So you're, and I'll get to the investigation in a second, but you're saying that David McGee was motivated by greed. He was trying to extort money from your family. That's his motivation, you're saying?
I know that there was a demand for money in exchange for a commitment that he could make this investigation go away along with his co-conspirators. They even claim to have specific connections inside the Biden White House. Now, I don't know if that's true. They were promising that Joe Biden would pardon me.
How did I know? How did I know that he would find a way to bring Biden into this, for Christ's fucking sakes? Biden is a stupid, bumbling old man. Trust me, if there's any kind of fucking master plan going on, he's not the fucking master of it.
A pardon. I'm not seeking a pardon. I've not done anything improper or wrong. But what I am troubled by...
That's actually not true. Things have come out since then. And it turns out that Mr. GAETZ here asked for a preemptive pardon from Trump before he left office. Wonder why he would need that.
Is the real motivation for all this. Just tonight, Ted Lieu, a Democrat, is calling on me to be removed from the House Judiciary Committee. And I believe we are in an era of our politics now, Tucker, where people are smeared to try to take them out of the conversation. I'm not the only person on screen right now who's been falsely accused of a terrible sex act. You were accused of something that you did not do, and so you know what this feels like.
Pause it right here. Look at the look on Tucker Carlson's face right now. That is priceless. He is looking at Matt Gaetz right now like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Why in the hell would you bring that up and remind my audience of that bullshit? Oh, it's priceless.
Pain it can bring to your family, and you know how it just puts people on defense when you're accused of something so salacious and awful, but it did not happen, it is not true, and the fact that it is the basis of this attempt to extort my family tells a lot. And if the FBI and Department of Justice will release the tapes that they are...
Just so we're clear, just because somebody tried to use this information to extort your family doesn't mean the information is untrue. That's if anybody tried to extort you at all. Which, I don't know. I don't trust you. Like I said, look at you. Look at the both of you. I mean, this is a perfect place to stop this, ain't it? I mean, look at that. That's probably the look he had on his face when he was with that 17-year-old.
They are in possession of, the American people will see what is really going on.
You just referred to a mentally ill viewer who accused me of a sex crime 20 years ago, and of course it was not true. I never met the person. But I do agree with you that being accused falsely is one of the worst things that can happen, and you do see it a lot. Let's go back to the investigation. You say that it was or is underway. There was an investigation. What is the basis of that investigation? What is the allegation? That's really not very clear from these news stories.
Yeah, again, I only know what I've read in the New York Times. I can say that actually you and I went to dinner about 2 years ago. Your wife was there, and I brought a friend of mine. You'll remember her. And she was actually threatened by the FBI, told that if she wouldn't cop to the fact that somehow I was involved in some pay-for-play scheme, that she could face trouble. And so I do believe that there are people at the Department of Justice who are trying to smear me, providing for flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime. And I'm just troubled that the lack of any sort of legitimate investigation into me would then convert into this extortion attempt.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of in the context at all, honestly. But
that right there was fucking great. Like, he just tried to use Tucker Carlson to back himself up, and Tucker's like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Oh, that's great. That's great.
I would like to know who. So they're saying there is a 17-year-old girl who you had a relationship with. Is that true? And who are they? Who is this girl?
Look at him shake his head. I'm going to say him nod his head. Yeah, I think you did it.
Relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false. The allegation, as I read it in the New York Times, is that I've traveled with some 17-year-old in some relationship. That is false, and records will bear that out to be false.
Actual things that have come out since this interview took place was that actually Mr. Gates here used a Venmo account. I hope I'm saying that right. I have no idea how these financial program platforms work. But apparently he was using this app to pay for hotel rooms and flights for what seems to be an underage girl. And in fact, another politician in Florida who is connected with Mr. Gates is already being busted for similar shit. So, yeah, I'm leaning more towards that. This dude is fucking guilty as hell.